Brian Ford.
Ever since the day the Bank of Credit and Commerce International was closed down, familiar faces have featured on TV. The distressed Asian businessman, bemused councillors from the Scottish Isles, that glare of suppressed rage as government faces opposition in the Commons. Yet other faces are taking far longer to emerge, namely the bank officials who reportedly swindled the customers. The calls for resignation have been aimed at investors. Everyone seems convinced they are to blame. But of course they're not. They did nothing more than the popular market economy commands. To maximize gain, you play the market to find the best bargain, and you do it using banks listed by the government. Are investors to be blamed for that? Investment experts are quick to point out that there is a risk when people offer higher rates. The BCCI rates were only 1/8 of a percentage point higher than the going rate. Does that honestly suggest an element of risk? But in this case, risk was not the problem. The idea of risk covers major disasters, currency fluctuations, business problems. What happened to the BCCI was none of these. It was deliberate fraud, not risk, but crime. Was it just an isolated incident, a one-off? Not according to the Governor of the Bank of England. Mr. Robin Lee Pemberton, speaking in committee with the authority of his office, said that if they had to close a bank every time an episode of fraud came to light, there would be rather fewer banks around. Put more plainly, bank officials are known to swindle. It is not so rare after all. The Bank of England could be liable in law, but only if they acted in bad faith. Stupidity or misjudgment do not count, and neither, it now seems, does failing to take steps to prevent apparent crime. No other area of business would get away with it. What other reason might there be for this bizarre failure to act? Perhaps that the majority shareholder in the Bank of Credit and Commerce International is the Sheikh of Abu Dhabi, and that last October, when the auditor's report on BCCI gave the Bank of England evidence of fraudulent loans, British forces were building up their strength in Abu Dhabi. The unity of coalition forces facing a Gulf campaign was the overriding priority. Not a time to rock the boat or embarrass allies by questioning the probity of a Middle East bank. If this does turn out to be the case, it strengthens claims for compensation for those private and institutional investors who lost their money. The government could afford it. It would be just another cost of the Gulf War.